Hey everybody, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever it is in your country. And I want to wish everybody a happy Australia Day to all my friends in Oz. As you know, Anne is Australian. She's the page owner and my fiance. So we are celebrating Australia Day today to her and all my friends and loved ones over in Oz. I hope to be there soon. I wanted to thank everybody for joining us today on our second Q&A that we're doing for the year. We had a lot of people asking questions. We're going to try to cover as much as we can. Hi, Michelle from New Zealand. And it's not New Zealand Day for you, but it's Australia Day. And we're going to try to cover as much as we can today. We've had a lot of questions that we got asked, and we're hoping that everyone can join us. And hello to you as well. And we're going to start off with a couple of topics before we get to the questions. And one of the big things that are happening right now we want to touch on is, to start off, Valentine's Day is right around the corner. We're going to be doing a Valentine's Q&A tutorial video on how to stay safe for Valentine's Day. Hello, because it's happening quite a bit. Around the holiday of Valentine's Day, people tend to be a little bit lonely and they give money to people that they've never met. So we're going to touch on that in our next Q&A video. And if you have any questions for Valentine's Day or any other scam questions, we're happy to answer them. If we did not get to your question and you do have a question, you can write it in the chat box. We'll try to answer as best we can. If we do miss any of your questions, we will go ahead and answer them if you come to the inbox. So thank you for that. We're going to go check our video feed here. And I've got 3 screens going, so if I turn my head a lot, you know why. So we're going to start off with one important thing is the Western Union. And hello to everybody who keeps saying hello. Western Union is in the middle of a class action lawsuit. They are sending out mail. They are sending out various documents in the mail. There is a website, the ftc.gov, where you can find the link to file part of the class action lawsuit. You have until February 12th to do that. Now, with that being said, I want to let everybody know, this class action lawsuit does not guarantee you're going to get all your money back. It doesn't guarantee you're going to get any of your money back. What it is a class action suit. So much money has been put aside. If it goes through and everything's good, you may get some of your money back. You may get $1 back on $10,000 that you sent. There is no guarantee. But if you were a victim of a scam, you sent money to somebody via Western Union, make sure you file that claim. Go to ftc.gov. That is the only site that you can file. Don't file with somebody you met off Facebook. Don't file on a strange link. Double check, make sure it is an official government site. Make sure it is for the Western Union class action suit. And it's worth doing. Even if you got $10 back out of 100 that you sent, it's worth doing the class action suit. And again, you have until February 12th. So hurry up and get that in as quickly as possible. If you have any questions, come to our inbox about that. There's been a lot of fakes saying that they work for Western Union. So don't believe anyone that messages you. Come to us, we'll give you the link to the site. And we will post it periodically on our page. Just want to say hi to everybody. Everyone keeps saying hello. If I miss you, I'm sorry. I'm going to start this off again. We've got a lot of questions, but I want to address something that one of our regulars brought to the inbox recently, and that is Google Hangouts. A lot of scammers are luring victims from the dating sites, from Facebook, etc., to Google Hangouts. Now, there's a couple reasons for this. One, we all know it's about isolation. They want to isolate you, get you to themselves, and Google Hangouts is a great place. Facebook is taking down fake profiles. They are taking down newly made profiles that look suspicious. They're even taking down people's real profiles with no reason. So if a scammer meets you off of Facebook and they want to get you to Hangouts, it's because they have that fear of their Facebook page being taken down. So if they can grab you, isolate you to Hangouts, they're going to get you over there. Now, with Google Hangouts, you have what's called Google Voice. Of course, that's a free voicemail number. We've covered that quite a few times online about what a free voicemail number is. A new thing that scammers are doing is, with Google Voice, you now have to verify your American phone number in order to have a Google Voice number. So scammers are asking victims, would you sign me up? Would you use your phone number to sign up for a Google Voice number? I need a Google Voice number, dear, for my work or for the military or for whatever reason. And so victims are signing up for these Google Voice numbers with their telephone number, and they're giving that to the scammer with the login details. So if you're talking to someone and they ask you to open up a Google Voice number for them, see that as a huge red flag, because it will be a scammer trying to use you as basically a phone mule. They want you to open up a Google Voice for them. So anyone asks you to do that, just block them. Just say no, just block them and move on, because they will be a scammer and they will be using you. All right. Now with that, we want to touch on another thing. People have asked us, and they've brought this up before. What are the reasons that a profile says they're single? There's a couple of them. And we all know the popular ones. I'm a widow. My wife died in a car crash. My wife died of cancer. That's the typical ones. She died during childbirth. We all know those. And what scammers are doing now is a little bit different. They're still playing with your emotions, but they may tell you that they're separated. They won't say they're divorced. They'll say they're separated. They'll also say that, oh, my wife ran off and left me with my only son. She was cheating. She slept with my best friend. She was using drugs and she ran away. Or I took my son and we ran away. So keep that in mind. Even though you're talking to somebody and they're not the typical widow, wife died in a car crash, that doesn't mean they're legit. A lot of scammers are mixing it up now. They're using different excuses, but at the end of the day, they're still using the same excuse to pull at your heartstrings. Oh, she ran off. She cheated on me. And a typical victim is going to say, you poor man, you know, I feel so bad for you. So always look at the whole picture. Don't assume because they're not a widow that they're legit, because a lot of times they're not. Okay. So we're going to start off with a question where we've had one of our regulars come to us. Fake scam pages, anti-scam pages. There are a few of them running around. Now, there are other anti-scam pages that are perfectly legit. I'm not going to name any of them. We don't endorse any of them. We don't know enough about them to say, yes, that's good or not. But what we do know is there are fake pages who claim to work for the FBI. They claim to work for Facebook. They claim to be scam busters. If you are approached by a fake anti-scam page. Let's say you're chatting somewhere and you say that you're a victim, and this page comes to you and messages you and says, hey, we can help you, we can catch your scammer, but it'll cost you a fee. Or we work for the FBI, so we're going to go ahead and catch your scammer, but you have to buy us an iTunes gift card or an Amazon gift card. Just block them. Any legit anti-scam page, our page included, will never, ever, ever ask you for money. We'll never ask you for gift cards. We'll never ask you for anything other than the information about how you were scammed and what happened. So any legit anti-scam page is not going to ask you for any kind of payments. And if an anti-scam page is telling you we can arrest your scammer, it is garbage. Don't believe them. Nobody can arrest your scammer running an anti-scam page. Now, they can give you information on where to file reports with IC3 with Interpol, and that's perfectly legit. But if you're talking to an anti-scam page and they tell you, give me all the information and I'll make sure that the FBI arrests your scammer, block that page, because they're not legit. There is no anti-scam Facebook page anywhere that can arrest your scammer. The only thing they can do is give you links like we do to IC3 and Interpol. So just keep that, be aware of that, because it is happening. A lot of people are getting scammed by fake anti-scam pages. And like I said, our page, Anna and myself, will never ask you for anything other than the details of what happened and the profile link of the scammer that you talk to. All right. We've got a question from Diane. Hello, Diane. And hello to everybody who's writing in the chat. We appreciate it. We realize that there are people all over the world who come to our page, and it's very, very heartwarming to know that all of you follow us, so thank you. Diane wrote, I'm talking to a man online, and he asked me for money. He has more than 25 photos of himself and a video of himself. So he's real, right? Isn't it true that a scammer would only have a couple photos or one photo and no video? The answer to that is absolutely not. Scammers steal videos. Scammers find open Instagram pages, Facebook pages, dating apps, profiles, blogs, wherever they can find them, and they steal more than one photo. They steal videos. It's not uncommon for a fake profile to have 30 photos. Photos of a man that are, are from different places. He'll have photos of himself at a picnic, photos of himself in the office. A good scammer will steal a bunch of photos. A good scammer will steal video. And they'll put that all on the Facebook page and say, look, dear, I'm legit. The truth of the matter is you need to listen to what that person is telling you. Don't just look at the photos and say, oh, he's fine because he's got 20 photos. No. Look at what he's telling you. Is he telling you that he needs money, that he needs you to open a bank account? He's a widow with one child. He's working overseas. He loves you. He wants to marry you right away, and you've never even met or video chatted. If he has videos on his page, as we've covered before, it's always a good idea to ask him to make a video. Tell him to make a video and write your name on paper and hold up that piece of paper while he's on the video. A real scammer can't do that because it's a stolen video. So no, Diane, that doesn't mean he's legit. You need to look at all the red flags, all the warning signs, look at his about section, look at the story he's telling you. Have you video chatted? We've touched on this before. If someone can't video chat, there's something wrong. We have cameras on every device you can think of. I have a camera on my laptop. I have a camera on my desktop. I have a camera right here on my cell phone. So there is no reason why you cannot video chat. And video chat apps are absolutely free. So if anyone's not willing to video chat with you, there's something very, very wrong. The next one we have is from Dennis. Why do people call victims of romance scams stupid? Okay. This is a very, very unfortunate thing that happens. And personally at our page, we don't tolerate it. If we see somebody calling a victim stupid, an idiot, a dummy, whatever, we ban them. Victims of romance scams are not stupid. They're victims of a crime. And people who say they're stupid are just ignorant themselves. They're either uneducated as to what a romance scam is, or they just don't understand. They've never been a victim. Being a victim of a romance scam is no different than being the victim of a robbery or some other horrific crime, having your car stolen, having your purse stolen. It's a crime. A crime is a crime, and a victim is a victim. So I think that there's a little stigma around, oh, it's a romance scam. You were stupid to send money to someone you never met. Well, no, it's manipulation. People are emotionally manipulated. And they say that it's bad to lose money. Well, it's even worse to be emotionally played with, to think that someone loves you and cares about you, takes your money, and then just dumps you. And you find out they weren't the person you thought they were. That's a horrible crime. And yeah, it's horrible to get your wallet stolen at the train station, but it's even more worse to get your heart played with. And so if someone is calling you an idiot because you're a romance scam victim, block them and ignore them, because they're not compassionate enough to understand that this is a legit crime, and that your feelings, your emotions, your whole body and soul are definitely injured in this crime. And again, if you see anyone on our page calling a victim stupid, let us know and we'll ban them, no doubt. They will be gone and they won't come back. And make sure you block them, because people like that who judge you and judge something that you're a victim of are not worth your time. And that's just the short answer is they're very ignorant and they don't know what it's like to be the victim of a scam. Okay. Another one we have is Martilda. Hello, Martilda. Hope I said your name right. My friends and I find fake profiles and are able to tell they are fake. We then add them to our group and catch our prey. Do you guys do that? Absolutely not. We bait scammers with a fake profile. We do it so we can show you the chats, show you what they say, and educate you to what to look for. We don't recommend baiting scammers. We don't recommend doing it. You luring a known fake profile into a group is very dangerous. It's not only dangerous for yourself, it's dangerous for the people in the group. There's this thing going around where people are these vigilantes for scammers, and they make these groups and they mess with these scammers, and to be honest with you, you shouldn't do it. For one, you don't know who the scammer is behind that profile. You don't know if he's a hacker. You don't know if he's even has connections into your country. You don't know if He's got friends or family there that can harm you, that can find you. It's dangerous to do. You don't know if, you lure that fake profile into a group. That fake profile is going to grab the profile links of every person in that group. They're going to go on to that person's profile, grab their friends, grab their family. You're putting not only yourself and the people in your group at risk, you're putting the people in that group, their family, their friends, anybody that's associated with that group, associated with those people at risk. So no, you shouldn't do it. If you know a fake profile, it's fake, you're welcome to post it to our page. You're welcome to bring it to our inbox if you're not sure. But above all, don't lure scammers. It's no different than if you were in public and you knew somebody was a bank robber and you wanted to lure them into a room. You don't do it. It's dangerous. Just because you're online is not a safety net. They can do just as much harm to you online as a person can do to you standing right in front of you. The crime might be a little different, but a lot of these scammers are hackers. You don't think about it. You're playing online with these people, and let's say you're using your computer to do it. You get a scammer, and he's really angry that you've done this to him, and he gets into your computer, and you think nothing of it. Oh, he can't touch me. What if you do online banking? What if you have your social security number, your credit information online, you pay your credit cards online, you make that scammer mad, he gets into your computer. It is going to wreak chaos on your life. So don't play with the scammer. Don't lure them. Don't play with them. Block them. If you know they're fake, just block them. Bring them to us. We'll post them or post them on our page if you know they're fake, and then block them. Don't play with fire, because you get burned. You definitely will get burned on some of these scammers. I mean, yeah, some of them are stupid. Some of them are young kids, and they're not going to do anything. For every one young, stupid kid you get that doesn't speak English very well, you're going to get a scammer who knows how to get into your computer and really screw your life up. So don't play with them. Okay. Hello to everybody that's come in. Hello from Germany. It's nice to see you as well. Hello to everybody else. Thank you. Our next question is from Gerald. Have scammers seen their fake profiles on your page and come after you? If so, what did they do to you? Gerald, that's a good question. Absolutely. Scammers, this is an open community page. We keep it open so that people who are victims of a scam don't know where to go. They see our page, they come in, and they get help. We don't do closed groups because that only helps the people in the groups. It doesn't help the people that are out there needing help and not knowing where to go. Scammers do see their fake profiles on our page. Unfortunately, there's a small group of people that will go talk to the scammer and say, haha, I saw you on Scamming Scammers Action. That is absolutely the wrong thing to do. That not only puts our page at risk, it puts us at risk. So if you think it's funny to message a fake profile and say, haha, I saw you on Scamming Scammers, it's not. Don't do it. If you love us, if you love our page, don't message scammers and tell them they're on our page. With that being said, scammers do see our page. They watch our page. They watch all anti-scam pages. It's no different than a criminal watching to see what's going on. So yeah, they do. We've had a lot of scammers come after us. They've messaged our inbox. They have threatened us. I'll share a quick story. There was a scammer in particular in 2015 who came to find his profile posted on the page. He began harassing us. He harassed me in particular. I guess he had it in for me for some reason. He would bring into the inbox photos of dead people, decapitated people, murder victims, and say, you're next. And he would make outright threats. The scammer in question was in Nigeria. Personally, I don't have any personal information on my real profile. He was able somehow to find my phone number, which is unlisted. He was able to find my profile. He ended up calling my phone up to 40 times a day, making threats to me. So yes, scammers can do things that you don't think they can. It's not always young kids who want a $100 iTunes gift card. It is hardcore, sick, sadistic scammers who this is their whole livelihood, and they will come after you. So that's the extent of my issues that I've had with scammers. I mean, we've had a lot of them come and go that have cursed us out in the inbox and called us pieces of trash and done all kinds of things like that and put voodoo curses on us and things. And personally, I don't believe in any of that, so it hasn't affected me. But they do threaten us. And they do come after us. So that's probably the worst thing we've had happen. Fortunately he went away. We exposed him, and over time he went away. I ended up blocking him, and that was that. But they can threaten you, and a lot of times their threats are meaningless. They're stuck in Nigeria, they're stuck in Ghana, but a lot of them do have connections to America, to the UK, to Australia, and they can come after you. You're absolutely right, Beth. They are sociopaths, and they have no regard for you. They have no regard for me. All they care about is a dollar. They care about the money, and that's what matters. So we've got another question from Nilda. Hello, Nilda from the Philippines. I'm talking to a man in the military, and he said I have to pay his commander in charge for his leave, $100 in iTunes gift cards as a security deposit. Is this a scam? I hope not. I hate to break it to you, it is absolutely a scam. iTunes gift cards are the biggest commodity online for scammers to trade. It's easier than getting a Western Union, and they trade them for currency online. Now, I want to touch on no military man will ever need an iTunes gift card from you for any reason. They do not need iTunes gift cards. They do not need to pay for a leave. They don't need you to buy them an iTunes gift card so that they can use it as a deposit. You know, they're not going to do any of those things. And so if somebody is telling you that, they're lying. They're absolutely lying. You know, if you're talking to a soldier and he says, well, you need to get an iTunes gift card for my daughter in boarding school, or you need to give me an iTunes gift card because, you know, I want to take a leave, but the commander demands it, block that person straight out. Don't listen to people that tell you they need an iTunes gift card for any reason. Because online, that iTunes gift card is as good as currency to a scammer. They trade them in groups. They trade them for money, drugs, alcohol. There's a group just in Lagos, so we've touched on this before. That's all they do is trade iTunes gift cards for different items. So don't ever buy an iTunes gift card. Now, with that being said, there are tons of scammers who claim to be the IRS if you're in America. They claim to be different companies, the power company, the phone company, etc. And they will call you and say, well, you're late on your bill, or your bill wasn't paid. You need to pay with an iTunes gift card, or you'll go to jail, or we'll shut off your services, or whatever. Okay. No company on this planet, whether you live in Singapore, whether you live in the United Kingdom, whether you live in Australia, you live in America, Canada, Mexico, I don't care where you live, no company takes iTunes gift cards as payment. They don't take iTunes gift cards. They don't take Amazon gift cards, none of that. So if you're talking to a business online or a person who says you need to make a payment via iTunes gift card, it is absolutely bullshit. I'm sorry, but it is. No legit company is going to take payment with an iTunes gift card. So block them if they do, okay? And we've actually gone to secret groups on Facebook and watched them trade these iTunes gift cards. There's tons of Nigerians, Ghanaians, and West Africans that just trade these iTunes gift cards in these groups. And they say, oh, my client gave me $100 in iTunes gift cards. Can I trade this for whatever? Can I trade this for a car ride? Can I trade this for some alcohol? Can I trade this for this? They do it all the time. It's absolutely what they do. And we're in a few of these secret groups with some profiles, so we do watch the scammers. We are in groups that are just for scammers, and they think that we're one of them. And so we listen and we see what they're doing. We see what they're trading. So we do understand what is going on in those groups. Okay. Also, we've seen someone in the inbox or in our chat, Publishers Clearinghouse. They are using Publishers Clearinghouse. If you are talking to somebody on Facebook and they have the big Publishers Clearinghouse thing across their wallpaper, and they say, we're the Publishers Clearinghouse and you've been entered and you won $1 million, but you have to pay for the processing fee, block them. Don't even bother, just block them. There is the legit Publishers Clearinghouse. I enter the Publishers Clearinghouse through the mail, but online, no. And if you're talking to a profile and they PM you and they say, oh, you've won the Publishers Clearinghouse, just block them. It's a scam. The real Publishers Clearinghouse doesn't ask for money. They don't ask for processing fees. They're not on Facebook PMing strangers. Okay. If you want to enter the Publishers Clearinghouse, go to pch.com or mail it in. But never, never, ever, ever give money to a profile with a Publishers Clearinghouse logo or anything like that. Say hello to everybody. Yes, and also if anyone sends you a check, if they PM you and they say, oh, you know, you've won this or that, we're going to send you a check, you need to cash it and then send us so much back, it's absolutely a scam. And what happens is most likely the check is false. 7 to 14 days, the bank finds out it's a fake check, and you are the one held responsible for all the money. You are the one held responsible for all of the charges. So never, ever, ever cash a check that someone gives you in the mail. Even if you're talking to a fake profile, they ask you for your address, they send you a check, don't cash it. It'll be a fake. Throw it through the shredder, throw it in the trash, throw it in the fireplace, but don't cash it, okay? And block that person above all. All right. So we've got a couple more questions. Evelyn has asked us, and she's also from the Philippines. Hello, Evelyn. What are some things scammers or fake profiles ask people when first getting to know you that I can watch out for? Okay, it's a good question. A lot of us are not native English speakers, so it can be very hard to determine if the person is speaking really, really well English or are they a scammer. And a lot of scammers do speak English and write English very clearly. A few of the things, I mean, you can always check our notes as well for things to look out for, but a few of the things they do, some phrases. How's the weather condition over there? Have you eaten? Do you live alone? Where do you work? How much money do you make and when do you get paid? That's a few of them. A lot of them like to use words that generally, as an American male who speaks English, we are not going to say, it's so fresh and cool, dear. It's so lovely, dear. That's a typical African slang saying. I'm never going to, an American man is never going to come up to you and say, you look so fresh and cool. That just screams African scammer. So those are a few phrases. You know, above all, you need to check their profile out, check their about section. Always, always don't be afraid to check the about section. Check their likes. If you're talking to a 50-year-old silver-haired businessman who is named Bob Smith, who's from Rome, Italy, and he checked in at a Nigerian cafe and he likes a Nigerian rap artist and Nigerian soap operas and loves African-themed things, it'll be a Nigerian behind it. No doubt. Personally, you know, I live on the West Coast of the United States. I like American bands, American things. I'm not going to like a Nigerian grocery store on my Facebook page, but a Nigerian scammer will using a fake profile. Always check the photos as well. A lot of scammers have their real photos in their fake profiles. Go through the photos, Google photos, look at inconsistencies, look at name tags, look at the whole picture, look at what they're telling you. Always check likes, about section, check their music likes, check their check-ins, check everything. And above all, you can check these things out. You can chat with somebody, but you do not have to friend them. So don't automatically friend somebody you don't know. Check them out first. And it's the same theory as if you're in your home and someone knocks on your door and you don't know them, you don't let them in. It's the same with online. If someone sends you a friend request and you don't know them, check them out first. Don't let them in, because that can be a very dangerous thing and it can lead to them talking to your friend's family, and it's a big spider web. So always, always, always check a person out before you accept their friend request. And at the end of the day, you can chat with them without even having to be their friend. All right, we have Michelina from Italy. I hope I got your name right. I was a victim of a scam in 2014, and now I'm talking to a Nigerian man who contacted me online. We're friends. I'm 60 years old and he's 24. He's not asked me for money or anything. Do you think it's okay? A lot of people are going to get upset with me, but I'm going to tell you, and Anne will agree with me, absolutely not. It's not okay. What do you have in common? I'm going to be straight out. What do you have in common at 60 years old with a 24-year-old Nigerian kid? Okay? There's nothing the two of you can have in common. From movies to music to lifestyle to everyday living, there's nothing you will have in common with a 24-year-old boy at 60 years old. If you are a 60-year-old American, UK, Australian woman, you have nothing in common with a 24-year-old Nigerian man. With that being said, they don't always ask for money. They don't always ask for things right away. They may get to know you for years. We've had victims who were friends with a Nigerian for 2 or 3 years before that Nigerian asked for something. Now, without naming names, we had a victim recently who came to the inbox. She was an older woman talking to a young Nigerian guy. He didn't ask her for money, didn't ask her for iTunes cards, didn't ask her for anything other than friendship. And she wasn't sure if he was legit, if he was a scammer. And so we went to his profile, we looked up a few things. We found down the line on his profile, he had things about hustling hard, Baba bless my hustle, all kinds of hustle, money taking, Western Union themed, I want your money, I'm a scammer, photos and posts. We also found that he was posting in various X-rated sex groups asking to become a porn star. Now, this was a woman who believed that this young man was a very nice young man. He was a student. He was a very Christian, loving, great friend. The reality of it is you need to check these people out and you need to question friendships. I mean, we love to meet people from all around the world. I have friends from all around the world. However, I have checked them out. You question everything. Question why at 60 years old, why does this young boy want to be my friend? Sometimes they want to romance you in a different way. They'll stay your friend for quite a while. Then they'll say, well, I really think I love you, dear. I want to come over to your country. The visa process from Nigeria to America to the UK to Australia is extremely expensive. It'll be on your dime. A lot of them come over, they'll marry you, they'll pretend to love you for 2 years, and then they will leave you. They will not only leave you in debt, they will leave you with nothing, and they'll have their visa. So you really, really, really need to evaluate friendships. Does that 24-year-old Nigerian man who you have nothing in common with really mean that much to you that you're willing to risk your safety, you're willing to risk your friends and family getting, him getting their profile links, getting involved with him? And at the end of the day, what do you have in common with him? Check out the person. Personally, I have friends, but we all have something in common, or we all get along. We all know, we all like the same things. I'm not going to friend somebody that I have nothing in common with, and there's a 40, even a 50-year age gap, because there's nothing the two of you could talk about that's going to make any kind of friendship. But a scammer will friend you as himself. He might be the same scammer that scammed you two or 3 years ago. And he's just friending you with his real profile. And they do that quite often. So no, I don't think it's okay. I think there's a huge red flag, you being the age you are, with no offense, and you speaking to a 20-some-year-old young kid. There's a red flag. There's a reason why he wants to be your friend. So please always evaluate your friendships before you accept people. Okay, even though they don't ask for money, there might be an ulterior motive for that. All right, so stay safe. I personally, I would unfriend them. That's your choice, but I'm just giving you our opinion on things. So be safe with that. We have a next one is Nick. And Nick asked a question that has been asked on our YouTube channel. If you haven't been to our YouTube channel, it is youtube.com/scammingscammers. We make videos at least twice a week, if not more, depending on our time frame. Nick asked, why do you guys show just pictures of black scammers? Are you guys racist or what? All right, Nick, I'm glad you asked this, because it's been asked before on our YouTube channel. No, we are not racist. Anna and myself are the least racist people in the world. Personally speaking, and I can speak for both of us, we are supporters of every race in the country. I am a supporter of every gender. I support the LGBTQ community. I support Africans. I support every race, every gender. I don't care. I see people as people. I don't judge people whether they're gay, straight, trans, black, white, orange, purple, pink. People are people. Okay? And is the same way. We're not racist people. I have friends that are from Nigeria. I am friends with a lovely lady from Nigeria who is a nurse. She has 2 beautiful daughters, and she is one of the greatest people ever. She is the hardest working woman I've ever met. She goes through school. She's a great person. She's Nigerian. She's never scammed a person in her life. Neither would she. She was actually the victim of a scam. So there are great Nigerians. I'm friends with a lovely lady who's married to a very nice Ghanaian man. There are Great Nigerians, great Ghanaians. There are wonderful West African people. I worked with a man from Somalia for many years, and I adore him. He was an awesome boss for me. So no, we're not racist. We're not racist. We don't hate people because of the color of their skin. We don't hate anybody. However, we dislike people that scam. Now, with that being said, the reason why we show so many, quote, blacks, Africans, West Africans are easy to find as far as them scamming. They use Westerners' pictures. They use pictures of white men and women. It's a fact, okay? They often pretend to be a Westerner. They can't do it very well because they don't understand the Western slang. They don't understand, they'll say they live in Alaska and work in Texas. They don't understand the distances. And a lot of these profiles are just blatantly, obviously fake. It's very easy to tell that they're fake. And their payment details often do lead to somewhere in Nigeria, somewhere in Ghana, somewhere in the Ivory Coast. They use their real phone numbers. They use their real names to pick up money. So that's why we find them. It's not because we're targeting West Africans. We're not targeting anybody. We're targeting the scammers. And a lot of romance scammers do come out of West Africa. It's just a fact. Now, if all the romance scammers were coming out of China, we'd have a page full of Chinese scammers. But unfortunately, we don't. It's West Africans who are doing the romance scamming. It's the West Africans that are pretending to be military men, that are pretending to be, businessmen and asking for iTunes cards and Amazon cards. So that's why we post them. There are scammers in every country in the world. We've covered this before. There's scammers in my country, in Anne's country, in your country. There's scammers everywhere. There are some really, really good scammers in Russia, in Romania. But the problem is they do a different kind of scam. They do credit card skimming. They do bank scamming. They do different types of online fraud, and they're not so easily caught. The West Africans use stolen pictures and they romance scam. The 419 penal code in Nigeria, that's what 419 is. It's scamming. And it originated from Nigeria. Now, Nigerians, they've done this type of scamming for a lot of years. They've done it back in the 70s when they went to Ghana to do work. They used to write to people. They used to do that. But with that being said, not all Nigerians are scammers. Like I said, we have great friends from Nigeria. The Nigerian people as a whole, they're fine. They're great people. They're hardworking people. I see a lot of people write things like, we should blow up Nigeria and we should kill all the Nigerians. No, absolutely not. Nigerian people are good people. I know a lot of Nigerian people who work 80 to 100 hours a week that are really, really great family men and women and that raise beautiful kids, and they're wonderful people. So you cannot say all Nigerians are scammers. Absolutely not. Are there a lot of scammers on Nigeria? Yes. But we can't lump all of them into this basket and say that they're all scammers, because they're not. Okay? But the reason, like I said, that we post so many West Africans is because they do these romance scams. They're very easy to find. They brag about it. They got money hanging out of their mouth, and they're saying, I hustle hard. Look what I did. Look what I scammed this person out of. So that's why we post them. In all the years we've been doing this, we caught one Thai scammer and one American scammer that we could prove was scamming with a fake profile. Other than that, it's all been West Africans. It's unfortunate, but it's true. But again, you cannot blame every Nigerian or every Ghanaian for being a scammer, because that's ignorant. If you say things like, I want to get rid of all Nigerians because they're scammers, that makes you look ignorant. You're no more better than the scammer if you hate a person because of their race or their gender, whatever it is. You need to just keep in mind that, yes, we do post a lot of West Africans, but we are absolutely not racist. I'm the last racist person. Anna's the last racist person you're going to see. And if you knew our friends list, we have friends from every color, every creed, every sexual orientation, everything. Okay, so we're not racist people. We don't hate people for any reason. We just hate people that, we hate the fact that they scam. Okay, scammers are the worst kind of people because they emotionally damage somebody, and that's the reason why we post them. So I hope that answered your question and kind of cleared up anything. I might be the whitest person in the world. I'm Eastern European, so I'm very white, but I'm not racist, and I don't see skin color. I see the crime, and that's what matters to me, is exposing the criminal, not someone for their skin color. That'd be ridiculous. So thank you, Nick, for your question. I hope that cleared it up for you. If you still think we're racist, well, that's your problem, because we're not. All right, next question. We've got Suvi, and again, I hope I pronounced your name right. Greetings from Finland. I'm wondering why fake profiles always ask if I've eaten. They do, don't they? They say, "Dear, have you eaten today?" And we kind of laugh at it because as an American or as an Australian or someone in the UK or wherever, that's not a typical thing to say. We don't say, how you doing, Sally? Have you eaten today? Because that's not a typical question. It's an African thing. Part of it, we'll give you a couple reasons why they say it. One, African culture, that is the thing they ask. Have you eaten today? It's a typical conversation that they have. They ask that. But one of the main reasons why scammers do, they want to show that with their fake profile that they care about you. Okay. How many of you have had a boyfriend or a husband who could give a crap if you've eaten, or how you're feeling? But a scammer will ask you that, and it's an emotional manipulation. They want you to think, "Oh gosh, this man really cares if I've eaten. He cares if I'm doing well. He cares if I'm taking care of myself. What a man! What a great man!" And that's one of the reasons they ask. They want to show that they care about you. And that's one of the emotional manipulation tools they use, is they pretend to care if you've eaten, if you're well. And a lot of them will say, "Dear, have you eaten? You need to stay strong and healthy. I hope you've eaten something today." And that, in your mind, you're thinking, "Wow, he really cares for me." And the reality is, he doesn't care for you. He cares about your money. Another way that they ask, and another reason why they ask, some of the scammers are sizing up your money. If you talk to somebody and a scammer, if you're a scammer and you say, "Well, what have you eaten today?" and you're thinking, "Okay, I'm going to find out what this person ate for dinner," and you say, "Oh, I had a bag of 25-cent ramen noodles," scammer's going to go, "Oh, she might not have as much money as I think." But if you unknowingly are talking to someone and you tell them, "Oh, I had a filet mignon steak and I had a baked potato and I had some lobster for dinner, and oh, it was great, and we had a nice glass of wine," that scammer in his mind is going to think, "Oh, she can afford steak and lobster and wine. She must have money. I'm going to ask for $1,000 instead of $100 gift card, iTunes gift card." So it's an unknowing way. You have to pay attention to when people ask that question, because they're trying to size up your money. Because they're not going to ask someone who ate a pack of ramen noodles for $1,000, but they may ask you for an iTunes gift card. But they're going to ask that woman who just unknowingly told them, "I had steak and lobster. Ooh, I need $1,000, dear." And that person may give it because they may have that kind of money. So keep that in mind. If someone's asking you, "My dear, what have you eaten for dinner today?" It might be a scammer. It's more than likely a scammer. I'm an American. I'm not going to ask you what you ate for dinner. I don't care. And most men don't care. Most men are not going to ask you, "Dear, what did you have for dinner today?" But an African scammer is going to ask you. So just remember that. That's just something they do. There's a couple reasons, but it is something that they do. Say hi to everybody in the chat box. Say hello and hope everyone's doing well. Melissa wrote she had one that wanted me to go to JCPenney's and get a store card and he could put money on it. Yeah, absolutely don't do it. A lot of them are hacking into store credit card accounts, and they'll have you open a credit card with your social security number, with your payment details, your tax ID, whatever it is. And they'll say, "Well, dear, I care about you. I want to load some money on this for you." And they will. They will hack into bank accounts. They will hack into JCPenney's, credit account, which I think is Synchronicity Bank, one of them that owns JCPenney's. And they will load money for you. The money will be stolen from the bank. It'll be stolen from some other victim's account. They will load it onto your card and they'll say, "Dear, now can you do this? Can you get me this? Or can you buy me a brand new iPhone, ship it to Nigeria or Ghana for me? Use that JCPenney's card I gave you, dear. I'm paying for it, dear." And what happens is you do that, and the credit card company will catch on to the fraud. Everything is traceable online. I don't care what it is, you can trace it. And they will come back to you and they will say, the bank will come back to you and say, "There's fraudulent charges on this account. It was hacked. It was put into your account. You will be held responsible for not only all that money, but any legal fees, any legal processing fees, any fees incurred by the bank, any charges that, say, JCPenney's wants to prosecute you for, it's all on you. And there's nothing you can do about it. You can't say, oh, well, look, it's this man in Nigeria, because they're not going to go after him. They're going to go after you. It's under your social security number. It's under your tax ID. It's under your name, your address, your account. So never, never, never open bank accounts for anybody. Don't open credit cards for somebody. There's no reason why a legit person needs you to open a credit card for them. And especially, and we can't say this enough, if you're talking to a man who is a businessman and he's got 5 houses and 6 cars and he owns a jet and he's off in the UK doing a business meeting, or he's off in Malaysia doing a business meeting and he's got a nice suit and tie in his photo and blah, 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 he doesn't need you to open a $400 credit card from a rinky-dink, retail store, from an Amazon card. People like that have money. People like that have accounts. They have open credit accounts. They have all that. They don't need you to open accounts for them. Okay, so never, ever, ever, ever open an account for somebody. That's just a huge red flag right there. You need to block that person. Just block them. Don't worry about it. Absolutely, Shirley, you block, block, block. That's what you're supposed to do. Don't mess with them. Don't screw around with them. Just block them. Don't even tell them you know they're a scammer. Just block them, because they may come back after you. Okay. All right, we've got a couple more questions. Actually, we've got one more question, but I want to talk about something really quick. Oil rigs. We've all seen the oil rig profiles. They work for Chevron, they work for Exxon, they work for Shell, they work for Texaco. They are out in the middle of the ocean drilling for oil and working with their men, but yet they're on Facebook. Okay? And was the victim of a romance scam where he was on an oil rig. And that's what he told her. And she knew nothing about oil rig scams. Personally, she was nearly lost her money because of this. She was romance scammed by this man who said he worked on an oil rig, had kids, etc. Wife dead. You know the story. Both of us have been online for a long time. I've personally been online for over 20 years. And I never knew about oil rig scams up until I found the Scamming Scammers page, until Ann told me about it, until she educated me about it. So don't feel ignorant if you don't know about these things. I was an admin on Talk City for almost 10 years, and I'd never heard of an oil rig scam. I'd never heard of a romance scam. And people don't talk about it enough. It's a very taboo subject. People don't address romance scams, and they should. They should openly talk about it. All of us should be talking about romance scams with our friends, our family, our coworkers, our grandma, our grandpa. It should be the topic at a family barbecue. Seriously. If we bring this into the light and we talk about romance scams, it's going to remove the stigma that this is such a shameful crime. It's a shameful thing to be the victim of a romance scam. And it's not. And unfortunately, there's talk shows that have these people on that are romance scam victims, and they tend to shed them into a bad light. They make them look like they're stupid. And they're not stupid. All of us at one point in our life have been lonely. All of us at one point in our life have wanted somebody to tell us that they love them, that they want to be with them. And the scammers know that, and they play on that. So being a victim of a romance scam is not a bad thing. What the bad thing is if we don't talk about it. It's like any cause, any awareness, any crime. If we don't talk about it, if we don't raise awareness, people aren't going to know. And education is our only defense. Many of us are asked, they ask us, how do we stop this? How do we stop them from getting our money? How do we stop scammers? Arresting a scammer is not going to stop a scammer. Yelling at them and screaming at them is not going to stop a scammer. Exposing them, it may expose them, but it's not going to stop a scammer. Reporting their profiles is not going to stop a scammer. What's going to stop a scammer is if we educate people, we teach people not to send money, we teach people what to look out for. And that's what's going to stop a scammer, straight out. And we also, if you're not sure, we have YouTube channels. Our YouTube channel has videos. I personally make these videos. They're 2 to 5 minute videos that teach you what to look out for. Each video has a different subject. We talk about Google voice numbers. We talk about oil rig scammers. We talk about military scammer profiles. We talk about all these different things. Share our videos if you want. Watch our videos, like them. Show your friends and family, and just remove the stigma that romance scamming is a very taboo subject, because it shouldn't be. It's nothing to be ashamed of. If you're the victim of a scam, don't be ashamed. You're a victim of a crime. Simple. Back to oil rig scams. A lot of scammers say they work on an oil rig. The reason for this is because it makes them available to be out of the country, out of touch. I'm Bob Smith. I'm from Texas, but I'm out in the middle sea of the Atlantic drilling for oil. Oh no, you can't send me money to my name Bob Smith in Texas because I'm out in the middle of the ocean. However, I can give you the name of my agent who works for Exxon that lives in Nigeria, and he'll gladly make sure I get the money. It's a reason to say that their child is being put away at boarding school or with the aunt or the sister or the brother or the uncle. Oh no, my child is 5 years old and it's her birthday next week, but I'm out in the sea in an oil rig. Could you go ahead and send that person an iTunes gift card? It's a great way for scammers to be away. Their little character, their little fake profile, they're away on an oil rig. And in reality, if you were talking to a scammer who said, I work at the Walmart on 5th Street, you could call that Walmart or go down to that Walmart and look and see if they work there. But if you're talking to Bob Smith, who's out in the middle of the ocean on an imaginary boat that you don't know how to check and you don't know if it's there and you don't know how to find it, you can do some digging, but chances are you're not going to find the answer that you want. So that's one reason why they say oil rigs. And I lived in Texas for many years. Real oil rig workers are not going to have, and it's the same as the military, they're not going to have hearts and teddy bears and candy and happy flowers and all that kind of feminine stuff on their page. Real roughneck oil rig workers are hardcore dudes. They like guns. They like cars. They like drinking beer. They're not going to have a teddy bear as their wallpaper. They're not going to write you poetry. It's the same as military men. If you're talking to a military man and he's got a teddy bear with a heart on his profile photo and he writes you poetry, it's going to be a scammer, 100%. So just remember the oil rig workers, that's a huge, huge scam. And it's a huge, occupation for a scammer to say that they do on their fake profile. Here we go, one more question. And our question is from Karen. And she wrote in the other day, she said, I'm happily married, but fake profiles keep trying to talk to me. Even though they can see I'm married, why do they keep bothering me? We get this question often in our inbox. There's a couple reasons. And some of you may not like my answer. The first reason, scammers don't care. They don't care if you're married. They don't care if you're divorced, separated, widowed. They don't care if you're living with another man, with another woman. They don't care if you're gay, straight. They don't care. All they care about is your money. They want your money. And even if you're married, they don't care because they're hoping maybe this married woman is in an unhappy marriage. And as much as I condone this, a married woman who is in an unhappy marriage is the perfect victim for a scammer. The reason for this is, for one, they're unhappy. Two, they're going to fall in love with attention. They're going to love this man sending her, flowers online and roses and happy poems and I love you, how are you, did you eat today, I'm thinking of you, dear, you're beautiful. An unhappily married woman might have not have been told she's beautiful for 15 years. However, a scammer's happy to tell her every single day of the week and call her and text her and say, you're beautiful, honey, you're a queen, blah, blah, blah. A married woman who's having a secret affair with a fake profile is perfect because they're more than happy to send money and keep it a secret. And scammers love when you keep it a secret. They'll often say, don't tell your son, don't tell your brother, don't tell your family members. Do you live alone? Good. Don't tell anybody. Well, a married woman certainly is not going to tell her husband, I'm talking to this man online and I sent him $1,000 because he's coming to see me and he's in the military. A married woman is going to secretly have this affair, send him the money and think she's going to run away with this man. And so scammers sometimes do look for married women. They hope that they're unhappily married. And then they target them. So, if you're happily married, great. And if a profile is bothering you, just block them. That's all you got to do. A happily married woman or a happily married man is going to block that fake profile. An unhappily married one may be enticed by the romance. They may continue talking to this profile and love all these romantic things that are being said. And so, if you're happily married, block that fake profile. Scammers don't care who you are. Scammers don't care if you're married. Scammers don't care if you're gay, straight. They don't care. They care about your money. And every single person they talk to and they see is a dollar sign, nothing more. They don't care about who you are. They don't care anything about you other than how much money can I get from this person? How many iTunes gift cards can I steal from this person? So that's my answer for that. I hope that helped you. And You know, if you're getting harassed by fake profiles, we always have a link on our notes section of how to lock down your profile. A lot of people don't realize their profiles are open, photos are open, their comments are open. So, you know, scammers might be targeting you because your profile is open as well. So lock it down. Now, if you have any questions, we're happy to help you in the inbox with locking down your profile and keeping it safe. And just checking the comments. Everyone's written quite a few comments. I wanted to thank everybody who's come to our Q&A. We're going to wrap it up here in just a minute because we've been going for almost an hour. I try to keep these under 20 minutes, but so many people write and so many people ask questions. If we missed any of your questions, make sure you can always come to our inbox and we will answer them for you. We've had a couple people write. Scammers are using photos of Asian men. That's not a new thing, but it's more of a frequent thing now. We've had Susan wrote that she had one scammer saying that he was Japanese. There's a handful of Japanese men that these scammers are using these photos. A couple of them are well-known Chinese businessmen. One is a well-known Japanese doctor. They claim that they're Japanese, they're Chinese, they're Asian, and they hit on women from Asia. And, you know, they come off as UN doctors and working on an oil rig, and they're rich and successful. And, you know, what woman wouldn't want a successful man? And if you're a lovely Japanese lady and you meet a lovely Japanese man online, you know, you might say, oh, this is perfect. You know, he understands my culture. He understands everything. And then you come to find out they don't understand anything about the Japanese culture because they're Africans using a stolen photo. So always Google the photo. You know, a lot of scammers also use translators. We've had a lot of them that come to us from places like Germany and Romania, etc., even Japan, and they say, oh, he said he was German, so I started speaking German to him, and he had no idea what I was saying, and he replied with a translator app, and it made no sense. Because, you know, a translator app doesn't always give the sentence structure, the dialect, etc. So you do have to remember that. But with that being said, I'm going to say, because Valentine's Day is around the corner, you can meet somebody online. You can meet a legit person online and fall in love. I met Ann online. We've been together since 2014. You can fall in love online. You can meet a legit person. You can fall in love. You can, and they can be 8,000 miles away. It can happen. It can be very hard to have a long distance relationship. I fly to Australia, you know, at least once a year, possible, if not more. We're going through the immigration process, so it takes a while. But we're not rich people by any means. But with that being said, you can fall in love online. You can meet the love of your life online. Don't become bitter because you were a scam victim. Don't say, I'm never going to find anybody. Because you will. There is somebody for everybody. However, for every one real person online, there's probably 5 scammers. So always pay attention to what somebody's telling you, but never, never, never give up on love. Never give up on that hope that you can find somebody. I've been a very lonely person all my life. Ann's been a lonely person. We found each other. You know, don't sell yourself short and say, oh, I'm never going to find love, because you may. But always look for the red flags. Google photos, listen to what they're telling you. If you're in doubt and you don't know and you're thinking, oh, I'm not sure, come to our inbox. We'll help you. We'll look at the profile and we'll try to sort things out. And one more thing before I close. If you need help, we're on our inbox every day. We work that inbox every day. Ann and myself, we're on different time zones, so sometimes you'll get her, sometimes you'll get me. We are the only 2 people that will ever see what you write in that inbox. Nobody else will see it. We don't tell your name to everybody. We don't share your information. If you come to the inbox, you have a fake profile, we're not going to show that to other people. Okay, we're going to show the fake profile. We're not going to show what you said. We're not going to give your name, your payment details of yourself, nothing. When you come to our inbox, please bring all the information at once. Please don't come to the inbox and say, is Bob a scammer? Because I'm going to tell you, I don't know what you're talking about. You know, if you come to the inbox and say, and throw me a photo and say, is this man a scam? I'm going to say no, but it's probably a stolen photo. Do you have more information? And the problem is we can get anywhere from 100 to 300 people in our inbox in a day. So I'm going to try to answer you quickly and help someone else. So you need to bring everything right up front. Bring the profile link if you have it. If you're not on a computer, bring a screenshot of the profile. Everyone can screenshot. If you don't know how, you can Google your phone app, Google your kind of phone that you have, and you can learn how to do a screenshot. Bring any information. So bring the link, bring a screenshot, bring any information. What is he telling you about himself? Did he give you a phone number? Did he give you an email address? Did he give you payment details? Did he ask for money? Did he ask for a gift card? What did he? Make sure you're straightforward with us, and just know that no matter what you tell us in the inbox, it stays with us. We don't share it with anybody. We don't give your name out and go, ha, 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 this person did that. No matter what you did, what you said, no matter how embarrassing, even if it's one of those, I sent him a nude photo and he's blackmailing me. Ann and I have heard pretty much everything you can imagine in that inbox. So don't be scared. Don't be, thinking you're talking to 20 different people in our inbox. There's only 2 of us. A lot of anti-scam pages have 5 or 10 or 15 people working for them. It's just her and I. So you can kind of see us as we're your little private confessional. Anything you tell her and I stays between her and I. It doesn't go out in public. So don't be afraid to come to us and just be straight. Be straight out with us and say, look, I sent money to this man because I sent him a photo of my breasts and I'm married and this is what happened. Don't be afraid to tell us, because we're not going to judge you and we're not going to say anything to anybody. We're not going to go tell your husband. It's your business. So don't be afraid to come to us. And again, always our inbox is open. Check our page, and should Facebook shut us down because the whole thing of Facebook not liking anti-scam pages and being corrupt, we will always come back. We will always come back. If we get taken down, we'll come back. Always check for our profile logo, check for our wallpaper. If there's a cloned page, you can always inbox us. You'll know you're talking to us or not. If you have any questions, you want to be on a future Q&A, just let us know and we'll answer your questions. Also, our YouTube channel is open 24 hours a day. We are an official YouTube channel, so you can find us at youtube.com/scammingscammers. It's all one word. We're going to be doing a lot more tutorial videos, instructional videos. Many of you have asked us to do videos basically on certain subjects. We're going to start doing that as time permits. So check our YouTube channel, check our Facebook page. We're going to be doing another Q&A right before Valentine's Day. So if you are enjoying this and you want more, we'll be back on right before Valentine's Day. With that being said, be careful out there. Don't send your money to someone you've not met in person, no matter what they tell you. Love yourself. Don't love the scammers, and stay safe. Until then, we'll see you on our next Q&A. And I hope everyone takes care and has a great morning, afternoon, or evening, whatever it is in your country. And we will see you next time on Scamming Scammers. Bye, everybody.